How different something.
Otherwise, I can't take away the lines.
Okay, cool. Rolling.
My name is Peggy. I was born in Jamaica. I came to England in 1962.
My name is Mer. I was born in Jamaica, in Smith Village, 2 Nelson Street. The parents of Frank Marquis and Bernice Marquis. And leave Jamaica on the 25th of September and reach on a Monday, the 26th, 1960.
I'm Rose. I came from Jamaica, 1956.
Thank you, Rose. Oh, you finished? All right. I thought you were saying. Okay. My name is Joyce Waby. I was born in St. Catherine, Jamaica. I came to this country 1957.
My name is Teresa Virgo. I came to England 1965. I'm from Jamaica.
This is Janet Davis. I came to England on November the 30th, 1961. I'm from Trinidad, and I'm a widow at the moment.
I'm Desmond Clark. I came here. I'm from the country part of Jamaica. I came here in November 1967.
My name is Sinclair. I was born in Barbados. I came here in 1960.
Okay, the reason why I came to England, the main reason really is because my auntie who was living in England for a long time, she made a promise to take care of me and my sister. And so she sent for us, and that's when I came to England. But I must say I was disappointed. I did not want to be in England. I wanted straight away to go back to my grandmother and my relatives and friends because it wasn't pleasant.
Well, I came to England, my dad sent for me, as he was here before.
My father sent for me here because I had 5 siblings here. 4 siblings here and myself made 5. So they all were here. My dad came here 1954. And then he sent for my brother and my sisters, and I was the last one to leave Jamaica. But when I came here, it was so strange. I wonder why I leave such a lovely country and come here. But then all the siblings were here, and I alone was there, and my mom. So I said, let me come and see what it's all about.
I came, my friend was here, and then I came. It wasn't all that good experience for me. When I came, he was in hospital. So I didn't even have nowhere to live. I was like staying with his brother and his wife in the same room, so it wasn't a nice experience. But you know, I'm here now to tell the story. When I came in April, and it was cold. It was really cold. And then the people who was going to like Birmingham, Nottingham and all those places, they gave them a coat, winter coat. But those who were staying in London, they didn't give them anything. So it was really cold. And then I think we took train, we landed at the airport, and then we came to Victoria or somewhere or wherever. And then we took a taxi think it was 4 of us in the taxi. And when the taxi dropped everybody off, and then I was the last one. And then he charged me. I was the only one who had to pay the taxi fare. And it was £2.
See?
Oh, I remember it was £2. My friend was in hospital, and then I came to his brother's address, and then everything he did for me, he wrote it in a book. So I remember he wrote £2 for Peggy taxi fare. So my friend had to pay him back.
Well, it was okay, because I came on the ship named the Escana.
The Escana.
Escana. Yes, and I landed in Liverpool. And we had to get a train to come to London. No,
Sure.
it's that was a long trip. Yeah, it takes about 1 week or 2 weeks. Yeah, I forget now, but it was very good because I was a dancer on the ship. I was an entertainer. Yeah, so it was okay. But when I came to England, it was all smoke, fog. It's like fog. Yeah, because back in them days we used to have fog. Yeah, that's the right word, fog. It was foggy.
What about you, Miss Janet?
I came on the ship as well. As I said, it took 2 weeks, but I had a bit of harassment as a young woman. But anyway, it got solved by the captain of the ship. When I landed, there was a lot of photographers, and they were sort of want to know a lot about you, but I did not give any information. What I wanted to do is to get to my family, my husband, and because he came and met me at this station, it was now. But anyway, on journey to where I was, number 22 Silver Road, I think, in Peckham, that's the first place I went. I noticed that I thought it was all factories, to be truthful. You know, look at the houses and the way they were built, and then you're driving along and you see no Irish, no blacks, no dogs. So I said, what the hell is going on here? And anyway, on my journey, when we got there, I noticed the living accommodation was very tight. Because everybody was living on top of one another. We had to share everything. Toilet, bath, and if you have a television, you have to punch money for the television to look at it. You have gas meter, you have to pay 2 pence to think, and you're not getting any rebate back because the landlord is the one taking money. You have a certain time to turn off the light. Now, these people were no disrespect to Jamaicans who came here long and was renting, because you can't get a room from an English person because, as I said, no Irish, no blacks, no dogs. So we had to take what we got. And from there we moved on and went to live with my husband's cousin. And from there things wasn't too bad.
My travel in the UK, I came by here, good old VC-10 in those days. And the fact that I came late, the groundwork was already done for me, because by then you have black people who own houses and so on, so it was quite easy for me. And my sister was the one who really encouraged me to come here, and she has already made preparation, so it was quite easy for me. I came up on a job permit, because by the time I got here, they stopped taking immigrants on the free scale like it was before.
To come here as a bus conductor in Barbados.
Bus conductor. Yeah.
So we had to go to class to get all the information, what we should do and what we shouldn't do. So when we arrived, going to VOAC, and we was already located where we're going to stay, because as soon as we land here, we were on fair road. We on fair road because we were British subjects then, and the tourists. Once you're in England, you will well looked after because you're a British subject and you're recruited because they need you. You need bus conductors. Okay? And our accommodation is already paid for. And as soon as that, we want to pay roads. So any discrimination we were expecting because we had information what to look for because we become as strangers to the people, local people. So I did have a few experiences of it and I tried to ignore some of it. Sometimes you tend to get over you, but you know how to calm down and get over to you.
My first meal was, anybody remember whitening fish?
Yes, I do. It's a lot of fish, but
White and I think it was whitening fish, fried fish and bread. That fish was mine. You know, we didn't used to that type of
the type of food that's...
Yeah, that type of fish, so it wasn't nice. So that stuck in my head. That was my first day in England.
when I first came to England, I was so surprised. I was surprised because the streets, they were so broad, they were so long. And not only that, there was hardly anybody on the street. It was so lonely. You might see one or two people wherever they were going, I don't know. And at that time, I had only seen my sort of relatives as in color.
Yeah.
I didn't see any others of my people around, you know, so I was thinking, it's very, very strange. Everything's so strange, and I didn't like it. I just cried every day, and I just wanted to go back to Jamaica. Because, as you know, in Jamaica, it's just like Coronation Street. Everybody just know each other and love each other and everything like that, and saying this good morning and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was very, very strange. But anyway, I wanted to go back home, but I hadn't. I didn't have any money to go back home because I came maybe, I don't know, maybe it was pensions I came with, I don't know if I was lucky. Because the thing about it, I was coming to live with my auntie, you know, so I didn't like it at all. But anyway, after that, I kind of sort of get accustomed to it. But I didn't love it because the thing what I missed as well, you know, you're walking on the street, you could hear music playing. If you're in the Caribbean, you could hear music playing and everything like that and everything. And it was so silent, you know, no music playing, nothing at all. You know, it was like strange. And when I see that my auntie had to make fire in the house and things like that to keep warm and thing, you know, and I think, oh, that is so strange. Why do they make it quiet in the house? I say, well, if you haven't got fire in the house, then you know what's going to happen to you. You're going to freeze to death. Another thing what I hated as well, it was having what they call, I don't think you probably experienced it, what they call chill blades. You know, it's makes those itches and scratches and swell up your feet and everything like that, you know.
Because you keep it too warm.
It was horrible, you know. And it was so cold, and we just tried to go by the fire and keep myself warm and everything like that. I thought, what am I doing here? I need to go up to Jamaica. My auntie always says to me, you know something, when you work your fears, you can go back to Jamaica. So that's a part of it. That's a part of it, not everything.
My first job was at a thermometer factory.
What, sorry?
Thermometer
Thermometer?
factory, yeah.
Okay, thermometers. Wow.
There. And the pay was £3.50 for the week.
For the week?
10
£3.50.
shillings.
£3,
Yes.
10 shilling
10 shillings.
for the week. And that was, I think you start about 8 and you finish. It was, I'm not sure, it was 5.
5.
5.
And that was your first job in the UK? How did you get that job?
A
A
friend?
friend, yes. A friend of my aunt. And she was working at the same. So at those times you could take a friend into work or ask for a job, you know. It was easy to get a job.
You just ask, is there any vacancy?
Yes.
When I came here, within 2 weeks, I got a job at Ailey Street, around the East End, to do overlocking, make children's skirts, ladies' suits, and I was getting £5 a week.
So you was a surgeon or was it a seamstress?
What? Yes, surgeon. But then, when I was in Jamaica, I was doing piecework. Penny a dozen, and I was getting £10, 10 shillings a week. That was a lot of money. So I cried tears when I come here and getting £5. Because it's so strange. I leave 10 guinea a week in Jamaica and come here and working for £5. And I said to my father, within 5 years, I'll stay for 5 years, but I want to go.
And you're still
home.
here?
And I do 5 and 5 and 5. I'm here for 60 years.
Yeah,
Here is my home.
You're still here?
Yeah.
Are you still here?
Yeah? Yes, I wanted to work for 5 years, and when the 5 years come, I do another 5 and another 5, because I was crying. I really wanted to go home. But when I start work and earn my money and, you know, making my life better.
You
I
felt a
said-
bit more relaxed?
Yeah.
You finished? My first job was at Guy's Hospital. But how I got the job, you just go to the place. I don't know how I get there. By train, but I don't know how I get there. Then you just go and ask if there's any vacancy. And if there's vacancy, then they said yes, they take you or whatever. And my wages was, I used to take home £5 a week. That was the domestic, like cleaning. It just say like it's Guy's Hospital. It wasn't as big as how it is there. I used to get lost so many times underground because it's like so many. I was working on the 9th floor, and then there is ground floor, lower ground, and something else ground, and then twist and turn. You couldn't find your way out. It took me a long time to be able to find my way. After that one, I had a child, so I went to work somewhere else. That was in Miller's. Do you remember Miller's Hospital? There was another hospital.
Miller,
Yeah, and then
Greenwich.
I didn't stay there too long because my child was sick. So I had to leave that one, and I stayed at home for a little while. And the other job was, the other job, I work at this tin factory. God, that was noisy. Tins coming, you know tins.
The tins, yeah.
Tins, and then they banging on each other, coming down, attacking you and whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't stay there long. They sacked me, but they didn't say they sacked me. They said they lay me off. And then it was so stressful that the third week I had to phone in sick. And then I went back. No, it was stressful. The other people working hard. I'm not used to working hard. I'm slow and now I can't do anything else. And then this woman, she said,
No.
you know when you're working and the sweat pouring out of you and everybody who working fast, waiting and stuff like that, it was stressful. And then this woman, that was I haven't hated anybody before or since. She said, you know, see I walk on the camera if you walk. Because I was slow, I couldn't keep her. And then, as I said, when I went back, they said they let me off, they didn't take me back.
You got fired?
Yeah. Because I was slow anyway. And then my other job was at Solex, Zenith. I worked there for 14 years. They went into liquidation. And then I work other places since.
Zenith went in liquidation. I used to work there, you know, I used to travel on the bus.
They went into liquidation.
Did you feel comfortable returning home after being in the UK for so long, or like
Well, it took me 12 years before I went back for holiday. And then another 4 years, and then I've been back quite a few times.
Okay, for the first time returning,
Yeah.
what was that feeling? What was that emotion?
Well, it was nice to be back home because I still had a few family then that know me, and I returned with a family that was born here and who were met here. So it was well briefly, but at the same time, it wasn't no work. I didn't have a trade. So I had a payroll, and even while I was on holiday, I was still getting paid. So I had good and bad. So can't say it was all bad, all good. But at the same time, it made me, I came as a youngster, and it made me a man. At the moment, I've made great-grandchildren. I have great-grandchildren.
Great-grandchildren?
And I come here with just a suitcase.
Do you still have that suitcase?
Not really. I have a blanket.
From that suitcase?
From that my sister gave. Or my adopted mother, because I lost my parents young. I lost my mother at 6, and I lost my father at 13. So I had an adopted mother. She passed as well. So I come here with just a suitcase and clothes. And I have a great-grandchildren. So
Now you've got great-grandchildren.
No regrets.
You made the legacy then?
No regrets. I had a few ups and downs.
I went home back after 15 years. 15. And it was okay. When I went back to Jamaica, everything's changed. It wasn't the same. Go along and get around, and you know, I looked at everywhere that I used to be as a child, and it's not the same. It's all different, change up. But I enjoyed it. It was good to go back there to see what's happening, and I wanted to go back again, but unfortunately the COVID come up, so no traveling for me for a while.
I haven't been back at all. For the simple reason, my mother and my father, most of my family, they migrated to America. And then since I lost my child, my first baby, when I came here in the 60s, I went in for, well, as I said, I was working and whatnot, and when I felt pregnant, I sort of did what I have to do and then went back to work, doing what I have to do. And the reason too, as I started having my children here, I have 3 children. As I started having them and I have them, I decided, well, you know what? The way how things is in this country, you have to educate your children. You have to be there for your children, because you get up in the morning. I used to, as I said, I used to work. You have to go and take your children out to a nanny. You have to know who the nanny is. You have to provide, and you have to know everything about where your children welfare is concerned. So this was my whole thing. I stay and I look after my children as they got big, and get their education. And now the proper job, I have no problem. I have my grandchildren and my great-grand. So I wasn't missing nothing. Because as I said, my father died, my mother died, my brother got shot in America. You know, a lot of things went on. And he had his own business, so when he got shot right in his own business. So it was a lot. You see, and the rest of my family, well, not to say that they were close, you understand, to say, well, they were distant family. So I didn't miss anything anyway. I didn't miss anything because what I have, what my extension is, to say, my genes, I said, I stood with them and bring them up the way that my mother brought me. So I'm not really missing anything. We corresponded, but not to say, oh, I'll take up, for the money I would have spent, to me, I have in my throne, that money I would go look into the welfare and the education, and that's what I did. And I'm grateful now I did it. I'm not missing anything.
I lived in the Bahamas before coming here. And when I went back to Jamaica from the Bahamas, I felt I wanted to jump out of the plane before the plane landed. But, coming over the airport and looking down at Harbour View, and looking at that view, I thought, boy, I want to jump out of this plane. I just couldn't wait for it to land. But so going back from England, the excitement wasn't that much. One thing that really stood out to me is that a shop that I used to visit as a young man, it was a big shop when I left there, and it got small. That was the one thing. But the most exciting thing was being able to go and get some pear and mangoes straight from the tree. So most of my visits back home is timed to catch the end of the mango season and the beginning of the pear season.
And they were juicy mangoes, weren't they? I miss mangoes. Is it mango season yet?
It's almost finished.
I'm thinking of mangoes. I've been thinking of mangoes since last week. I've been thinking of mangoes.
Oh, sorry to put that in.
How were you treated in some places more than others?
Well, we treated regular.
You were treated well.
No,
We didn't know any difference then. We weren't treated right. But now, after years, when you think about it, you know that you weren't treated. Or you should have been treated.
First job I got in India when I came there. Sorry. It was in the Western. And the thing about it, someone took me to the job, right? In the Western. And I am supposed to find my way back after the work is finished. And so what I did, I knew that I had to take a 36 bus or something. But what I did, I took the bus going the wrong way. And then when I'm looking out for the landmark where I'm supposed to get off, and I thought, this is a long, long drive. And I said to the conductor, can you put me off at such and such a place? He says to me, you passed that place long time ago, you're going the wrong way. I had to get off. He said, get off the bus and go back the other side and take the bus to my home. And I was thinking, what am I doing in this country? What am I doing in this country? I was so worried and things like that. Anyway, I reached out. But there's another incident I find in another place where I was working. We were doing machinists, we were making skirts and everything like that. And there's rows of machines facing each other like that. I'm facing you like that. And you're facing me. And this woman, she got a piece of black material and put there that she couldn't see me.
oh dear, that sounds so funny.
Yes, of course. I thought that's so horrible. That's where I realized about racism and things like that. So anyway, I didn't know what to do. I think I worked out the rest of the day. But I told the supervisor that I wasn't coming back because that woman's been horrible to me and I didn't go back to the job. Yeah, you know, it was terrible. There was no friends there when you're working. And even if they manage to talk to you while you're there for a little bit, then you go outside, they don't see you anymore.
No.
You're just nothing at all. It was really horrible. Then it just bring more tears to my eyes. You know, that's it. But there's another part again. I started to work in Lewisham at Marks and Spencer. Those days, Marks and Spencer was very choosy about people what they choose to work for them.
Yeah.
But as a person from the Caribbean, and we are polite and everything like that, I usually go in and say good morning. But nobody answer me. I thought I best to stop saying good morning then. But anyway, I've been to other jobs but I'm treated right and things like that. So.
What do you worry about these days? And why? This is a completely different question because it's about self-reflecting. So it's like, based on your experience, what do you tend to worry about these days?
Well, I don't worry about anything really, because what's the use of worrying about things? I'm here and I'm doing okay, so I'm not.
I am worried about the future generations and the loss of their identity.
No.
Because, they're in this strange land. And what is happening is that their identity has been eroded as we go down the generations. We are losing all of our values and our morals. And that's a big concern because, the systems aren't really helping them to develop in the way they should. For instance, we were given so much misinformation about Africa and Africans. And as a result of that, so many people are so detached or embarrassed about their Africanity because of this misinformation. And without that identity, I think we are lost. That's my big concern.
That is true though, because then it's like the generation these days, we now have to educate ourselves to understand the troubles that we're going through, the struggles, to understand our heritage more, type of thing. So that's what we got to do now.
Can I say something? When you grew up with your mother, as a family, father and mother, yeah? Father gone to work, mother gone to work. You had a system whereby you can explain the children what to do, leave a little note when they come home, yeah? At the age, yeah? I know what to do. You have telephone in your home, you didn't have telephone, well, I don't know how to do it, but you've ring to find out if they reach home safe, yeah? But what I notice now, the husbands or the boyfriends, they're more outgoing with their friends, they finish work, they're not getting home, they're not saying, okay, let me go home and see if the children is all right, let me go home and start to put on the dinner or until my wife comes in. The wife wants to work, she's there doing how many hours, the children there doing what, there's no parents is there when the children come home. There was before, as I said, before is different to now. They don't do it now, you see, and the respect has lost where the children is with their mother and their father, because you go half naked, I have to call it half naked, which they are on the road now, yeah? You think you come out your mother's house with your skirt up here and everything showing? No. So moral standards where the parents is, they are overruling their parents now, because the parents are not, because, if you do this, the Englishman will this. So the Englishman, I beat my children. Police come to my house, and I had to tell him what I had to tell him, and I had to tell him to move from my house because you're trespassing on my property. I got disciplined, and look at me today, 78. Eh? And the same way I was brought up, the same way I brought up my children and my grandchildren. And if many mothers and fathers would realize how much pressure it is on the mother, it's a lot of pressure on the mother, the children now.
What would you advise them to like understand your different cultures?
The children?
The children, yeah, even the children.
You talk to them, come down to earth, that they're able to trust you. If they have something wrong with them, you sit down, they go to work or they go to work or they come home from school or whatever, and you're there, you sit down and have a talk with them and see what was the day like, what was worrying them, what they had to eat, you have a proper conversation with them. And if they're going out, you find out little things, that's how you have communication, like friends. Yeah, as I call it.
The world has changed. That's all I can say. The world has changed. And the older parents just got to let the young ones get on with it. Because there's nothing you can really tell them with what you used to do or what your parents used to do. The world has changed now. It's becoming one world. And it's going to be very hard to put into your grandchildren to do what you used to do or what your parents used to do. You tell your children now, have some yam and I want fish and chips.
Something that, regardless of what is happening, that we need to be leaving for the children is we must reinstate our values. That is very important. Whether they want to accept it or not, that's up to them. But we have a responsibility to pass those values down to them. As far as friends are concerned, I didn't have any problem with that. When I moved to where I'm living now for the first time, I moved here in October. At Christmas, we usually have our little get-together as black people. My neighbors were white. And I just went next door and said, knock the door on. Oh, come on in, have a drink. I said, okay, I didn't really come to have a drink. I come to tell you that I will be having a few friends in. We'll be having a few drinks and some music. We might get a little bit noisy. We don't want to disturb you. So to avoid disturbing you, would you like to join us? And they accepted.
Yeah.
And from then on, we just keep moving like that.
That's true.
My reflection. On interviewing and editing the members from the VistaReminsce Group, what I've taken from this is the values and importance of asking questions to those family members you have in your life. Do we truly know their trials and tribulations that they experience? What this has showed me is what I've missed out on personally from my grandparents when they were alive. I hope that this short documentary will provide you an insight into West Indies to the UK and elders' experience from the 1960s. I hope that this will also encourage you to spend some time with your elders in your community. Thank you.